This is the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition. Good evening, everybody. I'm R. Anthony Lightbourne. It is indeed a pleasure to have you with us tonight. Well, our top story now, the Balearia Caribbean adding a new vessel to their fleet. This addition is welcome news for the island tourism sector. Today, the tourism partners and other stakeholders had opportunity to tour the new vessel. So did our Italia Hall.
The Balearia Caribbean adding a new ship to its fleet called the Juame. This new ship can hold up to 600 passengers and has additional cargo space as well. A number of persons in the government and private sector turning out for the official opening ceremony on Tuesday afternoon. This ship offers a lot of space with 2 cafeterias and slot machines will be installed soon. Chief Operating Officer Mario Otero says the Bahamas is the perfect place to expand their business and will soon begin services to other islands.
In 2016, 5 years after the inaugural services, we made a vessel replacement allowing us to remain competitive in our market, offering more cargo and more passengers capacity. This new vessel, Jaume I, named after King Jaume I.
Chairman of the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, Russell Miller, says he's pleased to welcome this new vessel to Grand Bahama.
This new vessel is an increase of approximately 200 passengers from the last vessel. So we're bringing more people to the destination. We're also providing stay passengers that occupy rooms in our hotel. So that is an added feature and an added benefit to the hotels on the destination.
Director of the Grand Bahama Tourism Office, Betty Bethel, says this company has had a significant impact on Grand Bahama's tourism product.
We are in the unique position to not only receive visitors by air, but also cruise and stay passengers. Sometimes we take it for granted, but it's a very significant mix in our tourism arrivals. Last year, the Balearia delivered almost 115,000 passengers to Grand Bahama, of which many of them were stayovers.
Sales and marketing executive for Balearia, Laurel Clavel, says there's a promotion coming for residents soon.
We do have the BOGO. It's buy one, get one, only paying taxes. For visitors of the Grand Bahama Island, we do have the day passes at the resorts.
Special awards were then given to Bahamas Customs, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Freeport Harbor, the Department of Immigration, the Ministry of Tourism, and JAGS International. And as to what's next for the company, the Balearia Caribbean say that they will be bringing 2 additional ships before the end of the year. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Well, unlike some hotels that experience an increase in business during the winter, well, officials at Bimini Big Game Club Resort and Marina say they're seeking some peak business right now. And guess what? Cleopatra Murphy's got this one covered.
The Bimini Big Game Club Resort and Marina is experiencing a profitable summer, with resort officials reporting 85 to 95% occupancy at the marina and 90 to 95% room occupancy on weekends. Assistant General Manager Pedro Miller says the resort is doing well, but officials hope to increase occupancy during the week. He says the resort caters primarily to boaters and others with fishing backgrounds.
We also cater to group business also. We also have a pretty decent-sized group business that would come over, purchase a lot of rooms, so sometimes purchase the entire resort for just basically just a retreat. They do some fishing, they visit the island, and they basically stay for more than 4 days.
Miller started at the property in January during a renovation that was completed under the resort's new owners. He says they completed beautification of the landscaping, renovated rooms, and the marina has been transformed. Next, they intend to add zebra crossings outside of the resort.
We find that the traffic, the speed in which persons conduct themselves, particularly in their golf carts, is very, very fast, and you have a lot of guests walking on the outside of the hotel. You have school right next to the resort itself, and so we're going to take on that initiative.
The property has started making and selling ice to its clients and the community as another revenue generator. He is also pleased that the Big Game is now ranked as Bimini's 2nd best resort on TripAdvisor, and the Big Game Bar and Grill ranked as the top restaurant. His clients can expect continued outstanding service.
We believe in training. And as the general manager mentioned, we're getting people certified so they could be proficient in their particular craft. And our emphasis is on training, and providing that outstanding customer service that that nobody can get to any resort.
The resort's peak season is in May and the summer months when the water is calm. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
In other news for you tonight, the Grand Bahama Port Authority city manager addressing some of the latest projects introduced in the Freeport area and others still on the drawing board. Well, the port executive was actually a special guest speaker at the Rotary Club of Lucaya weekly meeting, and Kimberly Mullings was there.
In March of this year, the Grand Bahama Port Authority launched a mobile application which allows residents to use their portable devices to send them information. During the weekly meeting of the Rotary Club of Lucaya, City Manager Troy McIntosh listed some of the benefits of the Freeport Report app.
And that app is strictly to develop a closer relationship with residents, where the residents now can police what's going on, whether it's illegal dumping, whether it's littering. Persons can, take a picture and send it to us anonymously without their information being disclosed. And that's important for us because this is a beautiful city. We want to keep it that way. We want to be able to maintain the city by you participating in this whole exercise.
While traversing the streets of Grand Bahama, many would have noticed 3 new speedometers on East Sunrise Highway, which McIntosh says are a part of keeping Grand Bahama's road users safe and aware.
We know that 9 out of 10 drivers will drive a mile to 2 miles without looking at their speedometers. So now it's telling me you have drivers that are unaware of how fast they're going. And so we want to begin to interrupt that whole process. And the speed monitors will do that. If you see it flashing, slow down, it means that you're exceeding 45 miles an hour. Or there's a posted speed limit at that location. And that's important because with the high numbers, the incident rates that we've seen on the island, we want to begin to affect that number and reduce that number.
Lastly, in keeping with their road safety campaign, the Grand Bahama Port Authority has partnered with other organizations on the island to create a commercial.
We worked and partnered with the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division to develop a infomercial by way of how to use a roundabout, and that's important. So that is something you will see very soon, and I think it will help drivers who may have a tendency of having challenges on the approach, maybe switching lanes or using the wrong lane.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Well, former City of Freeport Council Chief Councilor Burton Miller is considered the pioneer in the local government system. He is the first to hold the top post in the Freeport City Council when local government was implemented back in 1996. Well, tonight, as we continue our focus on the special local government 20 years later, this former practitioner says the system must be adjusted to regain some of the respect that once at hand. Let's go now to Cleopatra Murphy for that.
As the first group of elected officers of the City of Freeport Council, Burton Miller says they were challenged with how they could fulfill their mandate, having to contend with central government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. He says they were willing to focus on goals and were successful. Although challenged financially, Miller says council set out to build a new school for special needs students.
Port Authority and central government was going to have to take the blunt of it. And we were successful in bringing both those entities to the table. The school eventually cost about $600,000, and it's today called the Beacon School.
Through joint partnerships, the council successfully embarked on a plan to install 1,000 streetlights by 2000, secure a new home for straw vendors, and get sidewalks.
We saw people in need, we saw a community in need, and we set about doing it. There was each councilor around the table had a responsibility, a portfolio. We didn't come in there representing Marco City voted for me, so I'm representing Marco City. No. The first thing we did was dissolve that.
It is one of the criticisms he has about local government today. Miller says he is unimpressed and the system has lost ground.
I'm very disappointed. Disappointed in the lack of structure, in the lack of execution. I believe, in my observation, there are times when persons are elected and probably feel that they are the boss, not understanding that they are the servant of the people.
Miller says he would like to see local government once again focus on community needs.
Because they have moved away from that, there is always infighting. and it's not attractive.
Miller says the system's powers have been diluted over time, which has impacted its effectiveness. However, he says government need not fear local people with power, but nurture it and help them build their communities. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
We got more news to come. Stay with us.